Hello everyone, today is Tuesday around 11 p.m. New York time, and we're gonna go with the daily technical video day. Guys, the news of the day, there were basically two pairs. The first one was the S&P, which it have a huge set off today, and the second one is the Aussie group. Now, as a trader, the first things that came to my attention is that the US dollar do not rally. Usually with a rally like the S&P today that dropped almost 30 points, the US dollar should have rallied more as a risk aversion, which is very uncommon that those things happen. So with that give you more confidence towards that our view on a strong, on a weak US dollar is what the market really is looking around. So here we go. We're gonna start with the dollar in the 4-hour chart. Same count, no change at all. There is an alternation, yes. That we have an alternative, yes. But still, we believe that this count is very solid, very valid, and we believe that the dollar is looking for an area around 75, which is the 141 in the euro dollar, to turn lower. I believe that seller, they're gonna be around that area, and in extension, which is the 140 in the euro dollar, is the 75.41 area. So in general, we don't see any change at all right here. Now let's take a look at the US dollar in a 1 hour. This is how it looks like. Look, a flat B and going higher. I believe 74.81 or 75 area could make it for the dollar. Now let's see the importance of the S&P. Look guys, divergence, all this move, lacking momentum. So again, people get scared, people get in panic, but I would say this: as far as I know, almost 5 ways they're getting close to the end around this area. So technically, all end here, and we're gonna go lower in a type of this being a three-way. I mean, like a dope, because we can see it 2 ways. The first one, let me explain it to you. The first one is A, B, C, W, S, A, and then if that being the case, like the euro is gonna trade lower before going higher. Now, second scenario is A flat B, and C looking for 74.81. Anyway, what we see for tonight, we see after, if it goes straight here, it's gonna go straight to 75 area and it's gonna drop. Otherwise, we see dollar weakness. So we believe that the dollar is about to get weak. That is the move that we were expecting. We need to wait and see. But I believe that the dollar is sending a 5-way move from here, from 73.58. So we're expecting dollar weakness in some degrees later tonight, without question. Now let's take a look at oil, which is also very interesting and very well correlated with the risk trade. Again, there were no rally in oil. S&P dropped 30 picks, oil do not rally. And then that's telling me that maybe what the S&P was doing, it was doing nothing more than getting in sync with the market to get a lot of people a stop loss in the base of the triangle and then bounce higher. That's my bias, guys. Look, oil, A, B, C, W, S in a flat, and then right here it did a B-way flat, and right here ABC. I see oil, and I've been saying that oil should turn higher from around 92, 93 area. We're getting close, and that's what we expect. Now let's move on to the individual pairs. Okay, on the individual pairs, let's start with the S&P. The start of the day. What a day, what a set off did the S&P. 33 points on the red. Okay, which makes me very suspicious of why oil didn't rally, why everything didn't rally. We're presenting this count because even though we have a count which can be seen as a bearish, it's very hard to count this as a bearish, other than that this being the, like, if you guys remember, at some moment we were calling this that possible truncation, and that's gonna be the only case when you got 1 2 3 4 1, almost an 100% retracement here, and then from there a 1 2, and this is wave 3. I want to see the S&P below towards 16 before I can call that this is it and what we were expecting is happening, but I want to see the S&P down there. We're expecting a bounce some degrees in the S&P or a bounce higher. We're still bullish S&P. This is our series of 3 ways. When that's the way we like to count, guys. When the ugliest counts is like forcing the issue, we're gonna leave that count up to the end. So we believe and we think that the S&P is gonna bounce and it's gonna reach the 1400. Now let me show you the euro. I'm sorry, before that let me show you the S&P in the dailies. Of course the triangle that we were presenting there was invalidating, but 2 things, one good, one bad, happens today. The first one, the good one, is that this decline here, if we take a look on our proposal 1 2, it went to the 23s and bounced and stay around, and we believe that he's gonna reach the 1230 on the S&P, which is the 3802, and it's gonna bounce back from that area. That's on the S&P when we got a B-wave triangle. We got a B-wave triangle, and the rest is the same. 3-way here, we got a running triangle in B and the C, and then from there we're gonna go higher. Now the bad things about the S&P today happens on the weekly, but it needs to close. If you guys see the trend line from these lows, it closed below the trend line today, which is not good. But this is a weekly close. We need to close. If we close the week below that trend line, I'm gonna start switching the view, because that can be dangerous that time. Remember, S&P is gonna trade lowers. We were holding a bullish position, and we still are thinking about the triangle and the series of 3 ways that happen around this area. Okay, now let's move on to the euro. Euro, same scenario, nothing has changed for the euro. Still looks corrective to the downside, 3 ways. Look at the RSI, 3 ways. There won't be no acceleration. This is 3 ways, and the euro is gonna bounce for around 141. Now there is 2 counts that we can see here in the euro. The first one is this one, when you got A, B, and the C in the making, when the B was a flat. But I'm not that much in love with that count, but still can be the case because of the idea that this is a 3-way move. So it can be something like this become A, this become A less degree, this B right here, and then this is Z. that being the case, we can see here that this is A, and then we're gonna get to 9, a bounce to around 143 before another bounce lower, another drop, and that goes pretty well with the pound cable, and that goes pretty well also with the S&P that probably need a 3 and a 4. All right, so that's what we see in the euro. In the 4-hour euro, what we see, same count. In the 4-hour euro, we see the same count right here when we have the proposal 5, A, B, and C jumping or bouncing higher for 141 area or even 140. Now, let me show you an eternity count that a member showed it to me today, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good count. Is something like this. This is a 3-way move, and then we got A, B, and a C when the S wave being a flat, and now we're gonna get something like this. Before jumping higher too. That's very possible too. Now, what I don't like about that count, very simple. That if we take a look at euro in the weekly, I'm gonna be bullish euro onto this trend line hold right there. When that trend line is taken to the downside on the daily basis, gone. I'm gonna be the biggest seller of the euro. That trend lines today comes around 138, so it needs to drop. If it's gonna drop the euro, it needs to drop fast. Otherwise, it's running out of time right there, in my own opinion. Now, let's take a look at Aussie. Aussie bounced and dropped pretty hard. We've been saying over the last month. We've been saying over the last month that Aussie was possible to be doing either a flat or a nest to the upside. Remember, guys? Now, well, I remember me saying that when I see too many nests, I don't like it. Mike proved me wrong one more time. Look at Aussie. 3 ways down, 3 ways high, and what was? It was the flat. It was the flat. I don't know why for the last 2 or 3 days I changed some kind of the count because of the E way of the triangle. I changed in some degrees the count, but it proved me that I knew what I was talking when I was saying that was the case. Why? Because too many nests. Now what we need is ending 3, a 4, a 5, a 4, and a 5 before renewing. This is a flat on the Aussie, nothing more than that. Same with the Aussie Yen, which I don't want to talk too much about it. Look, it's trading at 82, and today got a low at 82. Our first target almost was hit today. Unbelievable, in less than a week. But well, this is corrective. How the Aussie dollar, we need a C way higher in this pair. This is gonna be a great buy around 82. I don't think 82.36 is gonna make it. I think it's gonna go to the next level, which come on the Aussie Yen, come around 81, and that was our second limit right there. All right, so that's about the Aussie Yen. Cable, I think that cable is ending I think that cable is ending the wave A. It's gonna bounce in big and before a C, and this goes pretty well with the count that we mentioned on the euro. Okay, guys. So for tonight, we're spreading dollar index. In some degree, in both other scenarios, I believe that we're gonna see dollar index. We probably see some type of yen weakness. In other words, we believe that the risk is gonna get on probably tonight and tomorrow. All right. Let's leave it there for now, guys. Get back to you guys tomorrow.